In this WrestleTalk news, backstage heat on Natalya after her walkout, a WWE star leaving, WWE Championships Dropped, and more. Subscribe and enable notifications to always on for daily wrestling news videos. Because if you don't, I'm going to get the great Khali to slap you, record that clip, and make it go viral on the internet.
Support WrestleTalk!
The great Khali is a certified legend in WWE, whether we like it or not. Holding the World Heavyweight Championship one time, being inducted into last year's Hall of Fame, and winning back-to-back Most Overrated and Worst Gimmick Awards in 2007 and 8 from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. He hasn't wrestled in WWE since 2018's Greatest Royal Rumble match. I forgot that happened too. But in his home country of India, he's remained active, running a wrestling school in Punjab, and most recently, allegedly chopping toll workers. A video of Khali arguing from the backseat of his car has gone viral on social media, where he's being confronted by a group of toll workers who claim he slapped one of their colleagues when he was asked for an ID card. To stop him from leaving, the workers put a barricade in front of Khali's car, but Khali just got out and shoved it to one side as the toll people tried to stop him. Well done, real life situation. That's how you book a monster. Khali has now claimed on Instagram that the toll worker was trying to blackmail him for a selfie, and when he denied the request, the worker used racist comments. Police have told the Times of India that no official complaints have been made, leaving the very interesting question, why is Khali in such a small car? But that isn't the only wrestler who's recently worked themselves into a shoot, brother. Much love, HH Kiss. Liv Morgan beat Natalya and Ronda Rousey at a house show over the weekend in Sacramento, California. As you could guess out of a match that involved the recently crowned SmackDown Women's Champion Morgan, huge mainstream star Rousey, and Natalya, it was Natty who took the pin. But fan footage from the live event shows one person was seemingly unhappy about that. Natalya herself. After taking Liv's Oblivion and then getting pinned, Natalya immediately stood up, effectively no-selling Morgan's finisher, pointed at the women's champion to say some words, and stormed off. Nobody heard what the actual words were, but I don't think they were the muted, presumed sweet nothings at the end of Lost in Translation. It was a shocking act, not just because it comes on the heels of Sasha Banks and Naomi's controversial walkout of the whole company back in May, but because it became from the perennial 15-year company woman, Natalya. And now it's come out, it really was a shoot. Thanks for your support on Patreon, Kick to the Face, Get Off My Plane, and fantastic Mr. Good Old Fox. You can get your own shout out by going to patreon.com/WrestleTalk. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer has said that the triple threat match finished as planned, but there was an issue, clarifying that Natalya was mad about something, although it wasn't linked to Morgan. Whatever the situation was, it was smoothed over backstage before the end of the night, with Meltzer adding, it's over and done with, but it did happen. Apparently following the incident, both women are getting heat for it backstage. The likeliest reason is that something went wrong in the match which upset Natalya, causing her outburst after the finish. That doesn't feel right considering how consistently professional Natty has been throughout her long career. If she can get through a farting gimmick without causing a scene backstage, surely she can get through a few missed spots on a house show. The other possible reasoning lies at the other end of the scale, that this incident is symptomatic of a larger frustration with her role in the company, similar to how Banks and Naomi allegedly walked out on WWE not because of their creative plans for that night's Raw, but their lack of creative direction moving forward. Natty lost to Ronda at Money in the Bank just over a week ago, which was really just a setup to have Morgan cash in and win the SmackDown Women's title afterwards. According to Rousey's official photographer, Liv was chosen because Ronda wanted the title to go to the most passionate pro wrestler in the company, which does feel like an indirect shot at Rousey's real-life very good friend, Natalya. Natalya has directly addressed the report on Twitter, dismissing the story as a slow news day. Crying with laughter emoji, heart emoji. Natty is set to face Liv on this Friday's episode of SmackDown, so we'll see if this plays into the story, work, or shoot. Brother. Much love, HH. Kiss. And after that match, maybe Natalya can go forth and dominate the women's tag team division again. No, looks like that's not really a thing anymore. The last people to walk out of a WWE show were Banks and Naomi back in May. They were the current women's tag team champions when they did so, and were apparently unhappy that their titles weren't being focused on as much as they felt they deserved. So WWE are proving them wrong. by having the belts pretty much disappear from TV. After initially burying Banks and Naomi on air for being unprofessional, WWE quickly announced that the women's tag titles would be vacated with a tournament set up to crown new champions. That was 6 weeks ago now, and we've heard nothing about it since. But Fightful has an update on their status. There is no update. Apparently nobody has heard discussions about the women's tag tournament plans backstage, or any creative direction for the women's tag division as a whole, noting that the only actual female tag team in WWE right now is Nikki ASH and Doudrop. Do you think the women's tag team titles will ever return? Or have WWE just dropped it like the 100 other things they don't really care about? What's in the lockbox, Vince? Oh, actually, I don't think I want to know anymore. But it's okay, Natty. You might not have the women's tag belts to go after, but maybe WWE could still do their favourite thing and make a random Franken team with a new NXT call-up like Io Shirai. It looks like Io Shirai isn't a thing anymore either. Top NXT star Io Shirai has been rumoured since last summer to be leaving WWE when her contract expires sometime next month. She's married in real life to New Japan star Evil, and has apparently told friends and family that she wants to move back to Japan to be closer to them. Despite being a former NXT Women's Champion and Women's Tag Team Champion, Shirai hasn't been seen in the promotion since April, taking time off to recover from a lower leg injury. The Wrestling Observer has previously reported Shirai has still not signed a new WWE contract, and then added yesterday that she's pretty much got her foot out of the door, pretty much gone. Her injured foot is out the door. A report that Shirai herself has seemingly responded to on Twitter, posting, "Rumours, vomit emoji." Well, that or she really doesn't like Fleetwood Mac's seminal 1977 album. According to Sports Illustrated, Shirai isn't the only one whose days are possibly numbered in WWE. Could apply to Vince McMahon too. Justin Barrasso's wrestling coverage for Sports Illustrated is one of the rare places where the Venn diagram of dirt sheets and mainstream media overlaps. So his columns are significant because they have a higher chance of being seen by ordinary, non-wrestling folk. And his most recent piece's title speculates Vince McMahon's days at WWE may be numbered, citing a pattern to McMahon's alleged behaviour that makes it all the more damning and indicates that more accounts of misconduct could be coming. This is in reference to last Friday's Wall Street Journal report that revealed Vince's NDA cover-ups goes beyond the paralegal case from the start of this year that sparked the board's investigation, and includes a further 3 settlements, which together total $12 million paid out in hush money. Barrasso argues that if true, this should cause McMahon's demise, but points out that possibly won't happen in practice, with McMahon being difficult to remove as he owns the bulk of the shareholding voting power, and while the stock price remains unaffected, revenue remains an all-time high, and sponsors continue to sponsor, there's currently no business repercussions to compel him to do so. Busted Open Radio have interviewed the Wall Street Journal reporters Joe Palazzolo and Ted Mann, who have broken the Vince investigation stories so far. The Wall Street Journal's purpose, they argue, is to cover corporate issues for business investors, so the investors know which companies are well run to determine where they put their money. Through that lens, they see the Vince investigation as a matter of corporate governance, which is separate to our predominant concerns of how they're going to turn this into a storyline. And they compare it to other public companies where there is very little tolerance for any sort of relationship of this type, even if it is consensual, particularly citing the $7.5 million NDA, which clearly suggests a big secret being kept. But one person has come out to defend Vince, Attitude Era star The Godfather, who said on the Two-Man Power Trip of Wrestling podcast, "On my birthday, May 16th, Vince said, 'Happy birthday, big man.' If that don't say enough, I don't know what to say. I know well he's a great guy. He's a great guy, and he's been nothing but good to me." Because that's who you want endorsing you during your sexual misconduct scandal. A guy whose gimmick was being a pimp. And that's not all, as at the same time as the Vince investigation, a suspicious WWE departure has happened. Watch on to learn more.
In this WrestleTalk news, a recent WWE departure has been called suspicious. Brock Lesnar called out for using homophobic language, Luke's review of Raw, and more.